The Mexican people are not involved in this. They don't like it. They just want to be left alone by their government, by the cartel, and live their lives, just like we do here on this side of the border. But unfortunately, they're being increasingly drawn into this, either through victimization or forced collaboration, which we'll cover in a later segment. But the point that I want to get to right here is this, is that there is wars on the street right now. The two cartels against each other, the military National Guard versus the two flavors of the cartels. It's kind of like you need a scorecard to keep track of who the enemy is. But here's the problem for you and me. So you're saying, well, it's interesting, Dave, but this does not affect me. And I would say, au contraire, mon frere, it affects you very much, potentially. These same organizations have operations in the United States. Many of them involve U.S. citizens, to be covered in a later segment again. But what about when that war expands from Culiacan, Acapulco, and so forth, and it goes to the United States, and you're in San Diego, Las Vegas, Denver, Pueblo, Albuquerque, Las Cruces, Tucson? What happens when that war comes there? How many citizens who have nothing to do with this will be caught in the crossfire innocently? Or the economies will be dominated in local areas by these criminal forces? Or, just like we see on the other side of the border, and I don't know why we think we're immune to it, because we're not, you get compromised officials, police, and politicians, and judges. This is what we're sitting on the top of right now. And I'll tell you, anytime you talk to Border Patrol, and I do a lot when I've toured and I've spoken at conferences, and I encounter ex-Border Patrol like Gil Mazza, J.J. Carroll, high ranking, they tell you this. In fact, let me share with you the numbers they tell me, and they've said it on this show. 1/3 estimated of the Border Patrol, which perform heroic duties every day at great risk to themselves, but 1/3 are compromised by the cartel. Did you hear what I said? 1/3. That's stunning. I don't know what the internal cleanup is, what Tom Homan is doing, but I got to believe he's dealing with this issue. But the war below, soon it will be as it is below, it will be above. And I don't know if the violence will reach the rampant level that we're seeing now in Sinaloa.
You see, because again, man, people have this certain spirit that of hey, I mean, yeah, it can get bad, but I don't know if it can get as bad. No, again, the Lord is reserving, saving the worst for Babylon. All right, it's that type of mindset, that type of attitude, that proud attitude, that proud mentality. All right. I quoted it. Let me get it. 2 Edges 15. 2 Edges 15. Second 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So there it is again. Like I read earlier in Isaiah 19, men being as women. Again, what type of fear is the Lord going to bring to where, hey, the houses being shut up, the streets being shut up? Because like it tells in verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Why? Why is the ability, that capability of being able to freely roam about? Because like I mentioned earlier, we're still in the cool of the day. Yeah. People are feeling the squeeze. It's getting tight, tough, whatever the case may be, but we haven't seen anything yet. All right. The scripture said, greater evils than these it's on its way. It's on its way. Jacob's trouble, man, is right around. I can't even say right around the corner. It's on the front doorstep. You see, it says, verse 18 again, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed. Like I said, just as far as the setting, what we see, bright lights, just these people, man. The scriptures talk about how, man, America's known as the careless city, man. These people, they're walking down with their head, they're glued to their phones, just not aware, just not circumspect of anything that's going on. They just don't have a clue what's going on, man. Because it's that proud attitude. All right, and that's why, hey, the cities are in trouble, man. America's in trouble. All right, houses are being destroyed. Like I said, that whole setting of high-rise buildings and partying and bullshit. All this is about to be different. Buildings are gonna be on fire. All right, gonna be hearing bombs going off in the background. People screaming. You know, because right now people they because the scriptures say it in a certain way, as far as wailing. But basically right now, you know, people they're in that spirit of mirth. You know, they're in that spirit of mirth, laughing and hee ha and you know. But soon they're gonna skillful. That's what the scripture says. Skillful in lamentation. So right now these people, they're skillful in laughing, right? Having a good time, living it up. But soon they're gonna be skillful in lamentation. Wailing is gonna be in the streets, like the scripture says. So that's gonna be the new environment. That's gonna be the new normal. People crying. Ain't gonna have no time to mourn loved ones. You know, it's gonna be one big adrenaline rush out here, man. Again, that's why the Spirit of the Lord is really gonna have to be on us. All right, because man, you know, we ain't got it. We are through without the Lord. It says, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So, hey, man, there's going to be a lot of kick doors. People getting kidnapped. Just all type of stuff, man. You know, and ultimately that's why the Lord is just going to have to, he's just going to have to show it, you know, because, hey, words aren't enough. I say it all the time, my words never do justice. You know, brothers having dreams. People in general are having dreams. You know, hey, man, you know, the Lord has a certain spirit out there, man. All right. And Lord willing, this is what the Lord is preparing us for. You know, that day is not going to catch us like a thief in the night. You know, we're not going to be, like the scripture say, Jacob shall not be consumed. You see, so, hey, you know, there's only going to be a small remnant, less than a handful of individuals out here, specifically men, operating and navigating a certain way, while people are pining away of famine. Hey, brother's going to be fat, full, you know, well taken care of, man. Again, preservation. The Lord is really going to cover his men and all those that come up under the man of the Lord's vibration. But all this is going to spill over to Babylon one way or the other. You know, as much as these people try to, you know, they don't want to, they just don't want to accept the reality of what's to come, even though the writing is on the wall. You know, yeah, it could get bad, but it can't get that bad. You know, no, it's going to get that bad. And then some. It's going to get worse. Like I said, America is going to be the worst place to be real soon.
The potential is there. Now, knowing the flavor of this president and his personality, he's not going to sit still for this and let this happen. He's going to be proactive. And we do know, and this has been actually covered in the mainstream media, surprise, surprise. And I say mainstream media, the former mainstream media, I should say, that they, in effect, what they're doing is covering this. And I was shocked, totally. They don't give you the complete story. You have to come to places like this to get the complete story. And I can't say I have the complete story, but I have a heck of a lot more good facts than the former mainstream media does. And for some reason, they don't want to tell you the entire story. But there will be a second war on American soil. I do believe before that war gets severe, that we'll put forces on the ground in Mexico. And I'm sure that the president of Mexico has been told what our tolerance level is. The CIA, as reported in the former mainstream media, is flying high-altitude drones gathering intel on cartel leader movements. Now, how they got that info, I have no idea, but this has appeared in the New York Times, the LA Times, the Washington Post, USA Today. These stories have appeared, and so we must take them seriously, because I believe it's true. Do they tell the truth all the time in the mainstream media? No, they don't. But in this instance, I absolutely believe this is true. And what are they doing? Well, it's like AWACS in the Middle East. They're gathering intel for future military operations. And I don't know that we're going to see traditional boots on the ground, so to speak. I think there'll be surgical incursions to take care of certain facilities and or leaders. I believe that's where it's going. You don't want to get into the Sierra Madres at Sinaloa and get involved in the conflict because this is bad or worse than Afghanistan in terms of terrain. It would be a logistical nightmare. And if American soldiers start coming home in body bags, that would create a problem here in this country as well, too. And then you'd have an increase in civilian casualties. And so people who might be recently here, first generation, crossing the border, could be directly affected by who is accidentally victimized, and that will create a potential civil disturbance problem in America. So Trump has to be very careful how he deals with this, but I know he has laid down the law to the Mexican president. I know that for a fact.
Man, Esau don't give a shit about none of you people. You know, Esau, man, he's a devil, man. Real quick, because I saw this video and I put it in the chat with brothers, man. 2 brothers. I'll just look this up here real quick and mention the title of this video. It said dementia patient discharged from hospice over Medicare requirement. Here's why it happened. Because Esau, he's a damn devil. He doesn't care. Esau doesn't give a shit. You know, he'll Gaza Strip a whole apartment complex. You know, men, women, and children, old and young, just for one person. He don't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. And Trump is showing them colors more and more. He's showing his them true colors. But there will be war, civil unrest, just a part of just everything bad. All right, everything bad, everything that could go wrong will go wrong, and you know everything that can go bad will go bad, and then some. 2 Corinthians 13-31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So you see, man, it's going to be bad on all sides, man. Like I said, the Lord strategically from the inside out, outside in, the Lord is hitting this place on all angles, tearing this bitch apart. All right, this land of unwalled villages, this place where these people dwelt carelessly. Hey, man, the Lord's about to sweep the rug from up under these people's feet. You know, and we can't wait to see it. I'm gonna grab this in 2 Corinthians 13 and 13. I'm sorry, Ecclesiasticus 13:13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing when thou hearest these things. Awaken thy sleep. So you see, you know, and those of us of the hopefully elect, we understand how crucial the times that we're in. You know, at any moment, and that's why we walk. It's like we're walking on eggshells, because we know at any moment, you know, the Lord can punch our ticket. We all have death angels lurking over us, man. Listen, the Lord's not one to play around with, and the world is about to find that out. We all have death angels lurking over our asses, man. We don't even know it. You know. And that's why we pray to, you know, we pray for mercy, man. Because again, without it, we don't have a shot. We do not have a shot, and it's some scary shit, boy. Because boy, these people are walking around here every single day, not a care in the world about Yahweh Shema Shai, proud and boastful against Yahweh Shema Shai. Just man, the attitude of these people, man, it's some scary shit. And the Lord's just allowing this shit to drag on, tolerating this bullshit, tolerating this wickedness, all these abominations, Lord, and just sit back and be long-suffering and patient with this shit. Boy, listen. You know, the Lord's patience is about to come to an end. When our time when the Lord turns his face, oh my goodness. Hey, where you want me to stand at, Lord? Right there. All right. Shit. Listen, we don't want no smoke, man. Hopefully, we don't want no more smoke, man. We get it. All right. Jacob's tired of getting ass for. We don't want no more smoke, man. You know, but hey, these people want the smoke, and the Lord is about to give it to them. All right. You know. But again, just understanding the times that we're in, and hey, we're already in dangerous times, and it's only going to get more dangerous. So again, man, that's why, hey, certain other elders, man, just putting that vibration out there as far as being circumspect, be aware, be careful, cautious, be alert, man. Be careful, stay prayed up, because we are in those times. So it's just a matter of time. Any day now. Any day now. Brothers say that. I know I at least do. And it's just like, man, one day, one day, it can almost become routine. Just any day now, any second, and then 1 second. One day, man, it's just gonna be like boom. It's gonna be like, oh shit. But coming soon to a city street near you. Hopefully, this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Shai. Shalom to you. Hopefully, let